Shalom brothers and sisters here that have arrived here on this channel. This video here I have some important news to talk about, and I'll be talking in English very shortly after I end up saying in Portuguese. Shalom brothers, I just finished the Portuguese video and now I'm gonna speak in English, but just a minute, I need to take a sip of water here. Get ready to do it again, so all of you can understand what I'm trying to say here. So this image here, you basically cannot understand what I show you unless I explain it to you. And this was, of course, with purpose that I made this, so you could only understand after the explanation. And the information that I'm going to show here is amazing, and it's kind of crazy if you're not into all of these, how can I say, all of these understanding of reality based on the Bible, understanding the reality based on the reality of the Bible, knowing God as Himself, and knowing how things on this earth exists and is created. So basically this, what I want to show in this image is that we are in a universe that is in 3 dimensions. We are in a 3 dimensions world. And this is very crazy and very, how do you say, it's very amazing to understand reality as it is. I'm gonna show you to you guys this. So take a look of what's gonna happen to this image here. Well, you can see that it disappeared and became smaller and appeared here. This is very interesting because of this video here I'm going to show you. So this is a ball, and the ball is 3D, and you can see all this happening in 3D in our dimension, but in a 2 dimension, so 1 dimension less than that which we live, they would see only a shadow of what is this that is happening. So you can see here that as the ball moves through the plane, to the 2D, to the 2nd dimension here, to the paper, they can see only a circle that gets bigger and bigger as it goes through, all the way into the middle, which is the biggest part, and then it continues to get smaller and smaller until it disappears. So the ball has moved through the 2D dimension here. And for us it's very, very similar, because we live in a 3D, and a 4D object would be very similar to us in the 3D if it went through the 3D dimension. So as the example of this metal ball here, you can see that a 4D object going through the 3D dimension gets bigger and bigger into existence. This is very interesting because we can understand that the spiritual realm, the realm of where God and the spirits are, they are microscopic, tiny, until they become macroscopic, huge. So they come into existence based on from smaller to bigger, from tiny to huge. And if you stop to think about it, we all were once microscopic, tiny. We're all once a tiny seed that just existed as a cell once. So we were as big as a cell, and we came into existence slowly, but we came here into existence from small to large. Can you understand what I'm saying? If I just portrayed it this way. So every one of us were once a small seed that began growing large. Even a giant tree were once a seed, a small seed. Even Jesus, even he himself, Yeshua, he was once a tiny invisible seed inside Mary. So we couldn't see him, but he was coming through our 3D reality that way. This means for all of us that we are 4D beings going through an experience, a temporary experience in 3D. And the thing that gets recorded on this paper reality, this 3D paper reality, quotes here, paper, is the energy of our thoughts, the energy of us going through this. So everything that we think, everything that we do with our thoughts, that's what gets recorded in this paper 3D reality. We're just going through here an experience in the 3D realm. But the 4D, it's eternal. It's beyond our comprehension. It's microscopic to macroscopic. And this energy that we have, and it started when we were just a cell, it came before us in the matter of our parents. And then if you go back, it goes all the way into Adam, then it goes back to God himself. So he is the first energy, the main energy, the energy that created all of this. And this energy that he gave it to us for us to exist, this energy comes all the way from the thought of God. Because before we were reality, we were just a thought in his mind. And that's the energy that became reality when he created reality with his hands based on his thoughts. And that's what we can do as well, because we have this energy in our mind and we can create things, we can make things into reality. We have this power to do this, to create things, to make things being recorded here in this 3D reality, this 3D paper reality here. And this energy is strong, it's amazing. Everything that we do gets into existence by our thoughts, by our handwork after we think about it. So to be exactly like God, we have to do our best, because he did our best. And since the beginning we were our best, because we were tiny microscopic cells that successfully grow until it become a human, and successfully grow until become who we are right now. So we are the best, and we should do the best to become the son of our Father, who did the best for all of us since the beginning. He always existed. He is the main energy. He will always exist. He is. And we should be doing what we can to be just like him, doing our best in this situation. Our thoughts have strength to become actions and to become things created in this reality. So we gotta be careful, because we can do evil also, but we have this desire to do what's best, to do the better, to do what's best, because that's our purpose, just like God. transform this energy in our mind into good actions, into good reality. And if you want to discover the secrets of this universe, this 3D universe that we live, we gotta check this microscopically. So we need a microscope to look things that are very, very small. And we also need like a big macroscope, something that looks at the stars, look at things that are huge. To discover the secrets of this universe, we have to look tiny, and we have to look big also. We have to look up and we have to look down to understand how things work. And if you see it, you can see that things are very similar, but they are also secrets to be discovered in this reality here. That's why scientists do this. And in the end, it's all about energy. So as I was telling in Portuguese, we're all lamps. We're just like lamps, and God himself tell us, the church, that we are lamps in Revelation 1. In the end of Revelation 1, he tells us that we are lamps. And he is the source of energy, the main source of energy. If we are not connected to him, we are not shining. We don't have the energy to be bright. Only when we connect to him, that's when we are illuminated. That's when we get to be bright. That's when we get to shine. Only when we are connected to the source, the main source, that is God, that is his energy, his spirit, that's when we shine. And these are the lamps which are us, the church. We need to have this energy, we need to have this oil to be bright, to be ready, to be connected to him, to have light, so he can see us when he comes. Just like Matthew 25, the parable of the 10 virgins. All of those that are churches, that are lamps, 5 of them had the connection to the source, and 5 didn't. 5 entered the wedding, they were taken to the source because they received the light and they illuminated. And 5 that didn't have the light, they were disconnected, they stayed behind because they were not seeing. They didn't have light, they didn't have brightness, they could not be seen, so they were not seeing, they were left behind. This is very important because we are living in this moment of time where this is going to be happening very, very shortly. Either we're going to be connected to the source and we're going to be taken by the source because we are just lamps that needs the source, needs the energy to become bright, or we're going to be without the light and we're going to be left behind. We're going to be dark and we won't be able to enter the source, the wedding, the 4D reality that we are all expecting. Having said that, I'm gonna be quickly jump into the thing that I was showing you guys in English. Unfortunately, I didn't translate, I didn't use the same PowerPoint as the other one that I used in English, but if you watch that video, you can assimilate what I'm saying here. That is written in Portuguese. But basically, we are right now at the 3rd month, the month of Sivan. We're entering here the main area where is the most likely moment to happen, the rapture of the church. To happen what? To happen what was the shadow of Moses there on Shavuot, on the Feast of Weeks. The presence of God coming down on the clouds, and then the loud trumpet sound, and we hear the voice telling us to go up the mountain. So this is what we are just ahead of us here. We are entering this prophetic timeline, which is very, very likely to happen, the rapture, just like the shadow show it, because of all of the things that I showed you in the past English video, which I encourage you to watch it again if you don't remember, because I'm not going to repeat all of that I said in this video. But we are in this moment of time to fulfill prophecies and patterns that are literally ahead of us, and all of the world, all of the news, everything is showing us that this is the moment, the correct moment to be happening, the rapture of the church. Right here, end of spring, beginning of summer, before Israel have only 7 years left, everything that I said in this last video is applying to this moment right now. And we are expecting very likely to be going into the rapture any time of this moment here. It's the moment of the wheat harvest, is the moment where the prophecies tell us about, is the moment that we are expecting here. And we are on the year 2022. And in Hebrew, Strong's 2022 is mountains. So we are at the mountains, the year is mounting, waiting for the trumpet sound and the voice to call us up the mountain, up to his presence. And this is very interesting, and I showed here on this calendar. It is in Portuguese, but I guess you can understand easily. I show you that these are the moments that people throughout the Watchman area are expecting to happen, the Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks, which some call Pentecost, and it's correct. Okay, it's okay as well. Pastor Sandy and some brothers are waiting for the Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks, to begin tomorrow on Sunday, June 5th. So these are the 2 days that they are waiting to happen, to start Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks. However, I'm going to show you here in the Bible, there are some different interpretations, which I'm going to show you right now. So I'm going to show you Exodus 19, the following. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, this same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai and had pitched in the wilderness. And there Israel camped before the mount. So they camped before the mount when? In the 3rd month, on the same day that they left Egypt. So we can know for sure that they left Egypt on the 50th day of the 1st month. 50th day of the 1st month is when they left Egypt. So if they arrived in the 15th day, the same day on the 3rd month, they arrived at Mount Sinai on the 15th day of the 3rd month. So basically, this is a different interpretation that is also correct, I would say, to understand the beginning of the feast here of Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks. So the beginning of the Feast of Weeks could be here on the 15th day of the 3rd month, which is around here. Israel, right now, they are calling Shavuot, just like Pastor Sandy are, 50 days right after Passover. So if you count 50 days, that's why 50 means Pentecost in Greek. If you count 50 days, you get to the June 5th and June 6th to be the 2 days of Feast of Weeks, Shavuot. That's what the Israel are saying. That's what Pastor Sandy and a few brothers are also saying. However, there's that interpretation which I tend to agree more, that it is on the 15th day, on the full moon, 15th day of the 3rd month, which remember on my last video I showed you that it's 1726 days from the Revelation 12 sign, which is completion of rapture, a very important number. It is 15th day of the 3rd month, so it's 15:3, 153. It's the fishes, the church, 153 fishes that they catch. There are a lot of symbolism here, so I tend to agree more to this date, but whichever date that you choose to be one, and I really encourage you to be watching for all of these dates, whichever date that you choose, to believe and believe all, but the Feast of Weeks, they are called Feast of Weeks because literally they last for 2 weeks. So in each day, one tribe of Israel goes to present their offer. So there's 12 tribes, so 12 days plus 2 Shabbats, 2 Saturdays. So 2 days where they don't present the offer, so 14 days in total. So 2 weeks, 14 days. If you believe it begins here on June 5th, it goes all the way until June 19 or June 20. And if you believe it begins here on 14, 15, 16 of June, it goes all the way until the beginning here, the end and beginning of June, at the end of June, 28, 29, 30, or all the way until July. It doesn't matter. Basically, starting tomorrow, I would say get ready and be ready for all of these days until the end of the month, because in any of these days, in any day of this, any moment of this period of time, it could be happening, the rapture. This literally can happen, and we are in the correct year, correct month, correct season, correct pattern. We are in the correct moment to happen. All the news, everything is telling us that this moment here, starting tomorrow until the end of the month, is the correct month, is the literally the red area here where it can be happening. That's the correct moment. We don't know the day or the hour precisely, but this is the season. From tomorrow until the end of the month, it's the season, the correct season to expect the rapture. So, something that is very cool here, 50 days after this area here for the Feast of Weeks, if we get to the date calculator, we get to, so let's get to 15 of June, and we add 50 days, so another Pentecost to the rapture there. We get close to the day where the golden calf was presented, close to the day that it's the 9th of Av. Remember here, 50 days from this moment, it's 30, 15, 5-ish, we get to this moment here, which is the 9th of Av, the Feast of Wine. It's another Pentecost, it's another 50 days, and this moment here has everything to do with the coming of the Antichrist appearing here. And then 50 days from this moment here, so we get to 30, 45 plus 5, we get close to the Feast of Trumpets, which we believe the Antichrist that were presented here will eventually sign the deal with many for 7 more years to fulfill the UN 2030 agenda. So we are perfectly aligned to this as well. Whichever day it begins, the Feast of Weeks. For me, be ready for all of these moments. It could be happening tomorrow, it could be happening a week or 2 weeks from now, or all the way until the end of the month. The rapture literally could be happening to fulfill patterns, to fulfill the story, to fulfill the shadow, to fulfill everything that we are waiting for so long. It's been 7 years for most of us here that we've been watching since the Revelation 12 sign, since the Tetrad. We have been watching for far too long. And this is the correct moment, the correct year, 2022 mounting. Everything fits for this moment, from the 5th all the way into the 30th of June, 1st of July. That's the moment when most likely the rapture will be happening. And something else that I want to add up here before I telling you a few news that are happening in the world is this. Based on patterns, I'm going to show you very quickly. Elijah was raptured in a chariot. Chariot is 222, just like voice of God and all. In a chariot of fire. Fire is connected to Pentecost, connected to the church. Tongues of fire were above the disciples, the apostle. Fire is the seed of fire. There's so much about fire. Unfortunately, I haven't done this video in English yet. I'm not sure if I will be able to do this video in English, because it was a project that I made in many years in Portuguese. But basically, the fire is connected to the church. We are the fire of life. Jesus is the water of life, and the church is the fire of life. The first judgment, the whole worldwide judgment, was by water, by Jesus, by Yeshua. And the second judgment of the world, which will be the tribulation, will be by fire. So there's so much connections, man, so much connections to this. I wish I could have done this video in English as well, because it's amazing. It's amazing. But basically, in the Chariot of Fire has everything to do with the church. But before he gets raptured, Elijah, he had to walk a walk, and he had to cross the Jordan. He has to cross the Jordan, and in the other side of the Jordan, he was raptured. So he had a path here, a journey to take all the way until the rapture. And if you look to the story of Moses, he also, after the people rejected to listen God, they didn't want to listen to God's voice, they were scared. God called Moses to go up the mountain, and his journey took 7 days. I'm going to show you very quickly here in Exodus 24. Show original. So, and he said to Moses, "Come up unto the Lord, you, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 of elders of Israel, and worship either far off, and Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but they shall not come nigh. Neither shall the people go up with him." So the people, the green figs, they rejected to go up the mountain. They were scared, and God called Moses and 72, Moses, Aaron, and 72 more, and Moses alone could come to the presence of the Lord. And you can read here, basically on verse 16, "And the glory of the Lord abode upon Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it for 6 days, and on the 7th day he called Moses out of the midst of the cloud." So on the 7th day, so after 7 days, he called Moses to go up to his presence, and he was with God in the clouds. We can say he was in the clouds on the 7th day. And there's another pattern that we all know. It's Noah's pattern. It will be like the days of Noah and Lot, but Noah, God told Noah to go with his family into the ark, and because after 7 days he would make rain on earth. So there's this 7 days pattern here to get to the presence of the Lord. I believe also it was a 7-day journey that Elijah took all the way until the rapture. So it could actually be happening here that in any of these weeks that we are expecting, and it's very curious as well that the church, the Watchman Church, they are confused about a week or so. So what I thought that could be happening here is that anytime between tomorrow until the end of July, or most likely from tomorrow until the 18th, which is the 15th and the 3rd day that they had to prepare. So anytime between these 2 weeks starting tomorrow, we can hear a loud trumpet, we can hear a call from God for us to do something by faith, just like entering the ark with Noah, just like going through a path that leads to some place by faith, just like going up the mountain for 6 days, and on the 7th going through the presence of the Lord. He could actually do like this, call each of us that are supposed to be raptured to go do something, or wait somewhere, or go up a mountain. I don't know, I'm just speculating here, but he could literally be calling us, and after 7 days of this calling, the rapture happened. I am saying this because I think it's very likely based on some patterns here in the Bible. I'm not sure 100% if it's gonna happen that way, but I believe in each case it's gonna go by case scenario by God. However, it's very likely and very curious as well that the church is confused by a week or so, and it's the Feast of Weeks that we don't know the day or the hour precisely, but it's it's interesting that it's happening this way. It could be happening, and I pray that you, if you receive something by God, something by telling you, He telling you something, fulfill it by faith so you are ready after 7 days to leave this earth to be raptured. Just believe that from tomorrow you could be receiving some message from God that's going to be clear to you that it's God, and you just need to obey the voice and go up the mountain to meet Him in the air. It could be physically, it could be spiritually, it could be by doing, I don't know, a fast. I don't know how God will deal with each one of us, but it's very likely that it can happen this way. So I think I covered it all. Ah, yeah, just gonna show you some news here, and I'm gonna have to translate because it is in Portuguese. But the news are also showing us that we are basically ready to leave. So the World Health Organization, they are agreeing to launch a process to develop historic global accord on this problem to prevent problems like with the one we had in 2020. They want to prepare the world and prepare responses to this. So they are preparing the one world government. They are preparing to lead the world on a global, on a worldly government, and they are using UN for this. And they showed us on December of last year. They showed literally they showed a beast, a dinosaur, which is a beast coming from the earth, doing a speech on the UN, which literally is showing us that the beast, the Antichrist, is coming and he's going to go and literally unite the whole world for this purpose. So they showed this. I believe this is on the UN channel on YouTube. You can search dinosaur on UN. You're gonna see that they themselves did this. They showed the beast on UN doing a speech. So they are preparing this. They are ready for this. They are just waiting for the church to leave as well. And some news here. Taiwan, it's on the verge of being literally invaded by China. So China is preparing to invade us. Israel cannot trust Peking. So they are very close to another war here, I believe. And the US already told Taiwan that they would defend Taiwan if China invaded. Some dreams, I believe in Portuguese or in English, I don't remember, said that when this happened, the rapture happened. So it could be happening anytime from tomorrow until the end of the month. And also Russia starts to include hypersonic missile to his fleet, and it's doing nuclear exercises. So we see this increasing threats of nuclear war, nuclear missiles. They are heating up this war here, heating up this conflict because they need a chaos to bring the order from. It's order from out of chaos. So they bring the chaos after they bring the order. And the new world order, the war order of the Antichrist, will come after this war, which could be happening right after the rapture or just with the rapture. We are not sure, but it's close as well. It's all being shown to these moments here. And everything is pointing us for this moment, for this period of time. I believe that you that have watched this video, I'm not sure if you put through all of this Portuguese that I started, but it's actually understanding what I'm saying now. If you put through all of this video and you were blessed by this, be ready anytime from tomorrow all the way into the end of the month. It could be happening, the rapture. It is very likely possibility. We are in the correct year. We are in the correct season. We are fulfilling prophecy, fulfilling patterns. Everything is fit. Even the news, even the world, even the new world order, even Satan, everybody is ready for this moment. So it all shows that most likely this is the moment where it will finally happen. And I hope to see you in the clouds, in Mount Sinai, in the presence of God, when He calls, when the trumpet sounds. I hope to see you there to be living a 4D reality that is far better than this 3D reality which we live nowadays. I thank you for your attention. I hope this blesses you. I hope this makes you think about what I told you and make you ready to be there. Maranatha for all of you that have a right here. Maranatha, I hope to see you there in the clouds. And I'll be leaving here right now. And I hope to see you there in the air shortly. Maranatha.